Question number 41 for Linear Relations EQAO Practice Questions for Grade 9 Applied. And 41 is entitled The Cost of Printing. Chris designed a new programmable thermostat that can be controlled using a smartphone. He needs to have a manual printed to sell with his new invention. And so we have this graph here which shows the cost for, up to about 80 copies. And if you looked at this online or download the PDF, there's a couple of things you won't see. I've added these two dotted lines in the 58 copies and the 365 here. And it asks below the graph, it says use the graph above to estimate the total cost of printing 58 copies of this manual. So if you look at the scale here, each box here is 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, that would be 50, this is 60. So 58 would be about right here. So if we go up to the graph, and then across, then that's the cost. So this is 300, that would be 350, that would be 400. So this is around 360, 65, something like that. So I estimated 365. So the estimated cost, and it's an estimate, you cannot read that exactly from the graph unless it was like right on the line. If it was right on here, we could say it was 350 with a little more confidence. So the estimated cost for 58 copies of this manual is about $365. Next it says using the equation, so they actually give you the equation now, C equals 4.5n plus 100, where C represents the total cost in dollars, and n represents the number of copies. Calculate the total cost of printing 58 copies. So we would put the 58 here in place of n in the formula. So we would go 4.5 times 58. Remember your bed mass, you got to multiply first before you add the 100. And so if we take our calculator here, so 4.5 times the 58 copies. So that's where the 261 comes from, and then we add 100. So 261 plus 100 gives us a cost of $361. So that would be the actual cost is $361. And then lastly it says explain why reading the cost from the graph might not give exactly the same result compared to using the equation. And it's difficult to read exactly a value from the graph unless the scale were 1 and it was like right on the line. So reading the graph, there's a little bit of interpretation to that. You know, is it 360? Is it 365? You know, it's a lot of confidence we can tell it's not like 375 or 380. But the equation is more accurate than reading from the graph because it's difficult to be really precise reading from a graph. So that's why there might be a little bit of difference sometimes.